Welcome back to the Crypto Batcave. Here we discuss all things relating to cryptocurrency, dissecting current topics relating to market trends, altcoin picks, tokenomics, and coin fundamentals. Occasionally, as described in our bio, we deviate into futurism, space, and technology. Tonight, we delve into futurism, and in particular how cryptocurrency may play a role when humanity makes the profound leap to becoming a multi-planetary civilization. Elon Musk recently stated that any future economy on Mars could be cryptocurrency based. Let's have a look. As many already know, Musk wishes to send people to Mars with the ultimate goal of evolving humanity into a multi-planetary civilization. His vision will require development of a human settlement on Mars, which possesses many fascinating hypothetical case studies. One of these relates to how it will be run, what sort of governance, if any, would it have, who will lead it, and will there be any incentivized reward system? What direction could a clean sheet design civilization take, one not rooted in any of the fragmented economic, governmental, or geopolitical systems we have formed here on Earth? For decades, futurists including Jacques Fresco, Aldous Huxley, and Freeman Dyson have philosophized about the future of humanity. Perhaps most importantly, they have pondered how it should look if we want to tackle civilization's biggest issues, such as climate change, poverty, inequitable distribution of resources, war, racism, and poor mental health. With a fresh start, Mars could become the ultimate case study, leading the way with a new beginning guided by cutting-edge research and advanced technology. Here on Earth, it is difficult to suddenly and significantly shift to an alternative style of living due to a multitude of historical influences revolving primarily around the battle for resources, converging, almost squeezing life on Earth into its current configuration like dough under a hydraulic press. For example, the shift to using renewable energy as a sole source of power is happening gradually, even slowly, rather than suddenly, due to significant political, economic, and technological barriers. Similarly, a significant shift away from capitalism towards a resource-based economy would have to be incremental in order to avoid mass societal collapse. Mars, on the other hand, in theory at least, could start the right way, right away. First of all, let's have a look at what has been said about a proposed colonisation of Mars. Just this week, Musk stated that he plans to sell his last remaining home in California, the final step to selling off all his material possessions to fund a Mars colony. He believes that he will have the capacity to launch a Mars colony by 2050. A large part of his rationale for making human life multiplanetary is to protect the future of consciousness. As has been discussed by many of Earth's leading minds, consciousness is under threat from numerous factors, namely mass extinction events, such as global war, environmental and societal deterioration, even the notion of the singularity and the advent of digital superintelligence, which has been hypothesized to possess the capability of dethroning humanity as the dominant entity on Earth. This may sound like science fiction or conspiracy theory, yet substantial scientific research is indicative that this is plausible in the next few decades. The advent of digital superintelligence, as well as its potential to evolve and either phase out biological humanity organically as a product of evolution, or in a purposeful, coordinated way, has been extensively discussed by scientists, psychologists, science fiction writers, and even Musk himself.
This is extremely important. I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads, by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
There is unquestionably benefits to the long-term future of humanity by becoming multiplanetary. For example, even if humanity survives just fine here on Earth with no self-destruction or naturally occurring mass extinction events, The solar system itself has an expiry date. Though this date is far beyond what any physicist, scientist, or futurist appears to have predicted humanity will survive, it is conclusive proof that if consciousness wants to survive, hypothetically, forever, humans will have to leave the solar system. This obviously must begin with leaving Earth. The journey will begin with the largest rocket ever conceived. Now, this is old news by those well-read in the space fandom community, but the Starship, as it has been aptly named, is really one hell of a machine. I will save the excruciating details of this ship for another video, but at a glance, this rocket, currently under development by SpaceX, is being designed to carry up to 100 humans to Mars at a time, also with up to 100 tons of payload, and be fully reusable. It will likely be the first rocket to transport humans beyond low Earth orbit since the Saturn V did back during the Apollo program. Long story short, the Space Shuttle was never designed to go beyond low Earth orbit. Additionally, NASA's successor to the shuttle, the Space Launch System, also being designed to transport humans to Mars, looks to be behind Starships in its developmental trajectory at this point. Additionally, Blue Origin, the European Space Agency, and China, and others no doubt, have plans to send humans to Mars, but again, all currently available data is indicative that Starship and the Space Launch System are the two most likely ships to first land humans on Mars by a significant margin. For now at least, we'll focus on Starship and SpaceX. According to public statements from SpaceX or Elon Musk himself, SpaceX plans to land humans on Mars as early as 2026. Starship is undeniably a key element to this whole conversation, as it will not only be tasked with the responsibility of safely transporting humans to the Red Planet, but it will also have to deliver kilotons, possibly megatons worth of cargo to its surface over time to lay the foundations for a colony. The craft is special and highly unusual in many ways. Firstly, it will be the first spacecraft in history to feature not just a super heavy lift first stage to launch into space, but a novel second stage capable of long duration space travel to other solar system destinations, beyond Earth and its moon. Even the first stage, the super heavy launch vehicle, is novel compared to previous generation rockets, in that it will be fully reusable, possessing the ability to land itself and launch again to maximize efficiency. In order for this whole plan to work, once in space, the second stage carrying the humans and cargo will detach from the super heavy launch stage. Now, due to the immense amount of fuel required to launch the vehicle into low Earth orbit, the second stage will need to be refueled once in orbit via an orbital propellant depot. This will then provide the craft with the immense energy required for the longest journey that human beings have ever embarked on, to Mars. At its shortest, when their orbits have their closest pass, which is when SpaceX plan on launching, is about 33 million miles, or 54 million kilometers. At the time of creating this video, the distance is over 350 million kilometers, as the orbits are out of sync and farther away from each other in their relative laps around the Sun. So, assuming any of this goes according to plan, and this incredible feat is accomplished in 2026, how will a colony be formed? According to Musk himself, it will occur over time, incrementally, and require many more economic actors than SpaceX itself, such as individuals, companies, governments, and this has been hypothesized to occur over several decades. This notion of a colony on Mars is essentially a clean sheet civilization, a fresh start, a very, very advanced, high-tech fresh start, whereby only the brightest minds will be present at first. This then becomes a very interesting hypothetical case study in terms of how it will be managed. Thank you for tuning in for part 1 of this mini-series, which is having a look at the journey to Mars, the colonisation of Mars, and ultimately the future economy on Mars and the way cryptocurrency may be used in that economy. So on the second part next week, we're going to have a look at how this might be the case and how it could potentially work over there. And this comes on the back of news this week that Elon Musk says that crypto will be used on Mars instead of conventional finance. So thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next week.